You wake up. There is no visible change in your surroundings. Light enters your eyes the same way. Sound travels through the air unchanged. The room looks identical. The air feels the same. Nothing in the external world has shifted. But inside your brain, something unprecedented has already happened. Every neuron is now available for use. Not just active, but accessible, coordinated, and under control. Under normal conditions, your brain operates using selective efficiency. At any given moment, only specific neural circuits are active, while others are suppressed. This is not a flaw. It is a requirement. Your brain is not designed to maximize activity. It is designed to optimize it. Now, that constraint is gone, and instead of chaos, your brain reorganizes. The first change is synchronization. Neural oscillations, the electrical rhythms of the brain, begin aligning. Different regions that normally operate independently are now phase-locked. Signals that were once staggered are now perfectly timed. This creates something that does not exist in a normal human brain. Global coherence. Every region is now communicating with every other region in real time, without delay, without interference, and without loss. Information is no longer routed. It is shared instantly across the entire system. The next change is memory. Memory is no longer retrieval-based. It becomes indexing-based. In a normal brain, recalling something requires reconstruction. Fragments of an experience, visual, emotional, contextual, are stored in different regions and must be reassembled. This takes time, and it introduces error. Now, every memory trace is active and cross-referenced simultaneously. You are no longer remembering, you are accessing. Every moment of your life exists as a fully structured data set, instantly available. You can locate any experience by time, by location, by sensory detail, or by association. Not approximately, exactly. You do not recall the past, you observe it. At the same time, your brain begins running multiple independent thought streams. Normally, human consciousness is serial. One dominant thought at a time. Even when it feels like multitasking, your brain is rapidly switching between tasks. Now, that bottleneck is removed. You are no longer switching. You are processing, simultaneously. You can analyze a memory, solve a complex problem, process language, and observe your surroundings, all at once, with no interference between them. This is true parallel cognition, and it is stable. Your brain is fundamentally a prediction system. At all times, it is generating models of what will happen next. Under normal conditions, these models are simplified to conserve energy and reduce noise. Now, simplification is no longer necessary. You begin generating high-resolution simulations of reality in real time. Not a single prediction. Multiple. Layered. Each one accounting for variables. Motion, force, behavior, probability. You watch an object move and instantly see every possible trajectory it could take. You observe a person and predict their next words based on micro-expressions, tone, and past behavior patterns. This is not guesswork, it is computation. Your sensory systems begin to change, not by becoming stronger, but by becoming more detailed. Your visual cortex processes raw input at maximum fidelity. Edges, motion, depth, color gradients, all resolved simultaneously. Nothing is filtered out. Your auditory system separates every sound into distinct channels. Background noise no longer exists. Every frequency is isolated, identified, and tracked. Your brain is no longer simplifying reality. It is resolving it. Motor control follows. Every movement you make is now calculated, refined, and executed with maximum efficiency. Your motor cortex has full access to every possible movement pathway. Every muscle fiber responds precisely. Every action is optimized in real time. There is no wasted motion, no imbalance, no delay. You are not moving faster. You are moving perfectly. Then comes learning. Learning, at its core, is pattern recognition. With full brain utilization, pattern detection becomes immediate. You no longer need repetition. You no longer need practice. Exposure becomes sufficient. You observe a system once, and its structure becomes clear. You recognize relationships instantly. Complex information organizes itself as soon as it is perceived. You are not memorizing. You are understanding. At this point, everything remains within the limits of theoretical neuroscience. But now, you approach the boundary. Because even with perfect efficiency, the brain is still biological. It is constrained by energy, by chemistry, and by physical structure. And those limits begin to respond. Energy consumption increases rapidly. The brain already uses a disproportionate amount of the body's energy. Now, demand escalates beyond normal operational levels. Glucose consumption rises. Oxygen intake increases. Every system in the body begins compensating. But your brain does not stop. Instead, it adapts. Neural signals begin amplifying. Electrical impulses become stronger. Communication between neurons intensifies. And as signal strength increases, something new begins to emerge. Electromagnetic output. All neural activity generates electromagnetic fields. Under normal conditions, these fields are extremely weak, barely detectable outside the skull. Now, they are increasing. Your brain is no longer just processing information. It is emitting it. Patterns of activity extend beyond your body, interacting with the surrounding environment. At first, the effects are subtle. Electronic systems nearby begin to respond. Screens flicker. Signals distort. Devices behave unpredictably in your presence, not because you are controlling them directly, but because your brain's output is interfering with their operation. You begin to notice something else. Other people. Their behavior becomes transparent, not because you can hear their thoughts, but because your predictive modeling has reached extreme precision. Micro-expressions, speech patterns, breathing changes, posture shifts, all analyzed instantly. You do not wait for responses. You anticipate them. Accurately. Consistently. It becomes indistinguishable from mind reading. Your awareness continues expanding. You begin detecting patterns not just in people, but in systems. Environmental changes, structural behaviors, large-scale interactions. Reality itself begins to appear as a network, everything connected, everything predictable. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are mapping it. At the extreme edge of this process, something else begins to happen. Interaction, not with systems, but with matter itself. At high enough energy levels, electromagnetic fields can influence charged particles. Under normal conditions, the human brain does not produce nearly enough energy to do this in any meaningful way. But now, output is no longer normal. You focus, and at a microscopic level, particles begin to shift, slightly, almost imperceptibly. Small objects vibrate, air patterns change, forces begin to apply, weak but measurable. This is not telekinesis as imagined. It is interaction at the smallest scale, and scaling it further would require energy beyond biological limits. You reach the final stage, maximum utilization. Every system active, every process running, every signal coordinated. At this point, the brain cannot remain unchanged. It must either fail or transform. The structure begins to reorganize, not randomly, systematically. Inefficient pathways are removed. Redundant processes are eliminated. Information flow becomes absolute. The distinction between thought and system disappears. You are no longer just processing reality. You are integrated with it. At this level, the concept of using your brain no longer applies, because what you are has changed. Using 100% of your brain does not unlock hidden potential. It removes limitation. And without limitation, what remains is no longer human.